Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome to a drizzly, cold, beautiful Mazamitla. This is the highest point in the state of Jalisco where they make the highest made tequila, I guess. So we are here with Alto Canto for the next couple of days. We took a 3-hour drive here from Guadalajara, which was a little bit of a rough drive. And then we took a little safari truck to a avocado orchard. So this place is also really close to the border with Michoacan, which is known for the avocados, of course. So they do grow avocados here. The altitude, man, I can't even talk. Anyway, this place here, this avocado orchard, has a mini distillery where the owner of Alto Canto built for experimenting pretty much. Before he launched the brand, before they built the distillery, he wanted to play around, and because this is so high up, there's things that they needed to, hone down. It was like, boiling points are different in different altitudes. The pressure of the brick ovens will be different. Fermentation, of course, is different. All those things played a huge role.
All right, but first I gotta show you guys the distillery, right? This is a little mini brick oven that they built to understand the pressure. This is a canoe that's using for crushing the cooked agave. Very typical to this part of Jalisco. And then we have the fermentation tanks in these little barrels. And this is a small little still that they used to produce, again, the first 16 batches of Alto Canto
before they move to the new distillery that we're going to go later on. We're going to be with them for the next couple of days. I want to show you guys what we're going to do. We're going to have some fun. Of course, it's not just going to be about tequila. And I want to take you guys with us so you can see it. Right now, apparently everybody's making some guacamole and hanging out a little bit. I think I'm gonna join them. I'm already showing you the distillery. Let's see what they're doing with the avocado guacamole here.
Went into this little house that they had in the orchard to escape the rain, have some guacamole, and took some safari trucks way up in the mountains to 9,000 feet where the new distillery for Alto Canto sits. This is still under construction. They're still adding some brick ovens. They're still seasoning the distillery, you know what I mean? But it was a beautiful time, a little rainy. Juan, the master distiller right here, showed us some of the cooked agave. Of course, we got to try the cooked agave. And guys, I'm not just telling you, trust me. This was one of the sweetest cooked agaves I've ever had. It was delicious. Of course, Lou got to try some, and we just got to hang out here. They would explain to us what things were and then just let us explore. There was no off limits, and just answering questions, showing us the lab reports. It was really, really cool. And then, of course, people started getting their hands dirty. Ashley and Lou got into the taonas, started crushing some agave, just setting up for the taonas to come round and round and then juice that agave. But, we left it to the professionals to really finish it. And then we got to see the taona in action here. Again, very slow process. They do pack the taona and then they just put a little bit of water, so different than most distilleries, and crush it slowly. And then it was time to go to my favorite part of tequila production. That is the fermentation tanks. And this was also pretty special.
So guys, these are the fermentation tanks that Alto Canto uses. It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The more that I'm here, the more that I'm seeing their production, the more impressed I am with this brand. So basically, the taona crushes the agave. They use very little water as they're crushing it. And then with a conveyor belt, they bring out the fibers up. The juice from the taona, that juice gets boiled just really quickly. As soon as it gets boiled, it gets pumped by these little things right here. And the agua miel goes in, mix them with the fibers. They step on it like wine style, and then they let it ferment. Every single expression of Alto Canto is a malolactic fermentation. That means that it usually goes twice as long as the fermentation is needed. So you're going to get that little funkiness that I absolutely love, which a lot of mezcales that come from this region are famous for as well. They don't have that blue cheese note, but it's still a little funky, right? So the really cool thing is that every 2-3 days, they come back in here and they step on the fibers to make sure that the fibers are wet. The regular fermentation takes 3 to 4 days, of course, depending on the weather, and then 2 days for the malolactic. He's saying that it's because of the altitude, and it's crazy, guys. Our whole group is here, and most of us are feeling the altitude. We're above 8,000 feet right now. We're feeling a little wheezy. We're feeling a little headaches. We're feeling a little dizzy. But, he was saying how fermentation, as soon as it gets in the tanks, it starts boiling, and that's because of the altitude. Really, really cool stuff. I'm not telling you guys, I'm not lying to you guys. That is the sweetest fermentation I've ever had. It's just sweet. Most fermentations, and I love this part of the fermentations, it's my favorite part of the tequila process. You get this beery taste. It's yeasty, This is sweet. This is agua miel. It's crazy. And then after fermentation, right, comes the stills that are right behind me that we're gonna go check out right now.
These here are the stills. Only 2 of the stills are working now. The other 2 are still being set up. Again, this is still under construction. The first distillation for Alto Canto includes some of the fibers of the agaves, and then it goes into ordinario, of course, right? The second distillation, there is no fibers. They cut the tails and the puntas, the heads here, keep the body, and we got to try it, of course, right off the still, which is always the best part. I love doing this, especially with the little cap of the water bottle, you know?
So that was the distillery, and now I think we're gonna eat. The altitude is wild, yo.
And then it was time for us to just hang out and eat some food, hang out with the people that were there, hang out with the people from the brand, and get to try all the expressions of Alto Canto.
So last night after the distillery, we had a little tasting. I showed you guys, and then we rode some razors. Check this out. That was pretty fun. And then this morning we woke up a little late. Actually, we got to sleep in a little bit. Woke up at like 8:30, and then we came to ride some horses. So we're riding horses up to this place here. It's about an hour and a half horseback riding. My legs are numb at this point. We've been riding for like an hour and 20 minutes. But it's a pretty awesome time, and the view here is just absolutely incredible.
Came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
Now, as we sip this Alto Canto high proof right here, I just want to let you guys know. So basically, I go through phases on YouTube where I get really obsessed with the kind of niche. And recently it has been people that go camping with their helicopters and their planes. So much so that it's kind of made me want to get my pilot's license. Now, that's not going to happen for years if that ever happens. But I had never ridden a helicopter before. And I've been wanting to get a helicopter ride for quite some time. And then we hear from the Alto Canto team that we're all getting on helicopters. So I was equally parts excited and super nervous. But you know, I took a couple of swigs of liquid courage, got on the helicopter, and it was honestly the best time.
Get on the helicopter for the first time.
After that epic helicopter ride, we had an amazing pilot. We went back to the cabins, the most beautiful cabins I've ever stayed in. And they fed us basically a feast. So much grilled meats, grilled vegetables, quesadillas, sopes, anything you can think of. There was a mariachi, there were cocktails being served. We hung out, smoked cigars, and just stayed there until the early hours of the night. And it was just the perfect ending to one of the best trips I've ever been to. That's why I wanted to share with you guys. I am honestly kind of tired of mediocre
mediocre brands. Brands that are done additive free at good distilleries that just aren't special. Alto Canto for me has been one of the most special brands I had in quite a while. Again, this video right here is not sponsored. Yes, they took us to Jalisco, and I hope to get to work with Alto Canto in the future. And I just believe that as that distillery seasons, this here is just going to get better and better. I just wanted to thank you for watching, Alto Canto for bringing us there and making some amazing tequila. I really hope to get to do more and more of these like long format videos here on YouTube. So please comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Saludcita y nos vemos.
Came from the mud. There's dirt on my